Here's your host, Luke Anderson.
Hey, happy Thursday, all you beautiful radio listeners. Thank you for dropping in on our little happy hour. We appreciate you listening. If you're watching on YouTube, here's a hand gesture just for you. You're welcome. YouTubers, feel free to hit us up on the chat if you're listening on the radio through 105.1 FM, 1080 AM, or on 105.1thefan.com, Odyssey.com, the Odyssey app. Smart speaker, use the text line, 503-2GO-FAN. That's 503-864-6326. Share your thoughts, ask questions, solicit advice, or answer me this, dear listeners. Do you keep receipts? Do you keep track of every little slight, every comment that somebody makes about? Do you worry about all the little things? Let's bring in today's producer, Stephen Vaughn, joining me for the first time on Happy Hour. How are you, sir?
I'm doing very well, Luke. It's good to be here.
Do you keep track of every shot that somebody takes at you, just so in case you can go and prove them wrong, you can make sure that they know that they said something at some point that really got to you?
No, I do not do that because I am wrong a lot of the time, and so I don't want to do that. But I will say this: if you cross me in some way, you disrespect me, I will remember.
Okay.
I forgive, but I don't forget.
All right, so you do kind of,
but it's not not opinion wise. It's more on a personal level.
Okay. So the reason I bring this up is Bill Simmons and Matt Ishbia had quite the back and forth. This started with Ishbia taking shots at Bill Simmons, who predicted that the Suns would go under 31.5 wins this season. The Suns record is 32-22. So he calls out Bill Simmons, and Bill Simmons comes back with an immediate response of, well, I did pick you to win over 50 games last year, and you finished 36-46, so I guess I'm wrong twice. Bill Simmons, Matt Ishbia, both keeping receipts, both making sure. Bill Simmons does not feel like a guy that you want to go after. I feel like he keeps meticulous records and keeps the slights.
Well, the interesting part about this one is he basically said that he was wrong, but it was also a dig at Ishbia because he's like, I was so wrong because you're horrible.
Exactly. Oh, it's
so
100...
I'm an idiot because I believed in you. It's like so he made fun of himself and everyone else.
But I think it's way more of a shot back.
Way more.
Just going to, you're going to call me out every time I'm wrong? How about when I'm wrong? Because you're terrible.
Because you stink.
Yes, exactly. So I 100% loved that little exchange. So if you've ever had an exchange like that, if you take down slights, if you have those, feel free to text us. We'll get to those at the end of the show. I want to talk a little bit right now. There are some things that are lining up. Today is the first game that the U.S. hockey team is playing on the men's side. And one of my favorite sports viewing moments, and I often go back and I can remember exactly where I'm sitting, where I was when I was watching. I was still living in Los Angeles. The 2010 Olympic hockey final, U.S. versus Canada. Canada ends up winning. It's the silver medal for our lovely Americans. They couldn't quite get it done. And I am pretty excited for this. Right now, the U.S. has a 4-1 lead on Latvia, and they're going to have to go through group play, and getting that all set up has me very excited. One thing I have never gotten into, but seems to have more buzz going around it this year than it has in the past, at least for me, World Baseball Classic. And then the other thing we got this summer, which I have really no interest in, but I feel like is going to be everywhere, is the World Cup. Stephen, how are you feeling on these three tournaments? So we get in the single year. So it's been 12 years since we've had NHL players in the hockey tournament. You had COVID the last time it came around was a concern, and it already shortened the NHL season. You had there was a dispute with the IOC in 2018. So 2014 was the last time that you had the NHL players. They're back. They're very excited to be back. They were really upset not to be in it the last couple times. That tournament seems really exciting to me. I don't know how you feel about the World Baseball Classic or the World Cup, but I feel like the World Cup's certainly going to be unavoidable. How are you feeling on these 3 tournaments?
Yeah, I mean, like, I like baseball. I don't follow it on a daily basis because I don't really have a team. But I will say, when you get into these type of tournaments and you look at especially the USA roster,
it's
like
stacked.
It gets me hyped. Like, it gets me hyped in this type of situation. It's the same thing for all these. I'm going to call them minor sports, right? Like they're not the big sports, not the NFL, not the NBA, not Major League Baseball, but
Major League Baseball
is right on the fringe there for me. But
well, it's funny because they call it the Big Four, right? The NHL, Major League Baseball, NBA, and
I almost throw college football in there now or Major League Baseball.
The only problem that I have with throwing college football in there is it runs parallel with the NFL, and the NFL is a monster. There's probably more revenue and more money, but it's distributed between 130 some odd teams with college football. It's tied to these institutions.
It also is getting a little too minor league football for me. That's a whole nother rant I can go on.
Well, I'm pretty happy to complain about college football. I did it a lot this year.
We can go on about that, but I'll say this: when you get to these type of tournaments, the World Cup, you get Olympic hockey. Like, get me out of group play, get me into it, sudden death, all that kind of stuff. I'll be in. So World Cup, I'm all about it. When you get past the group play, and you get into the one-on-one situations, that kind of stuff, I'm into.
See, this gets me hyped because you have the U.S. as one of the favorites in this tournament. It's the start of the third period. They're already up 4-1. Taking care of business, doing what they're supposed to do, gets me hyped. The 2 favorites, Canada has been dominant in this. Russia's not in the event. You've got Sweden, the Swedish team, and Finland, who already has a loss in this tournament, near the top. But the U.S. is the second overall in the best odds to win this thing. So I'm pretty excited about it. And the women's tournament, there's going to be some fun hockey, but there really are only 2 teams that matter in that, at least from everything I've read, and that's the U.S. and Canada. So I just want them to face off. That one I'll probably watch, but I'm pretty excited about the hockey tournament. I'm starting to get hyped about the World Baseball Classic. The World Cup is one for me because that is so much bigger globally than what we pay attention to here, and it's going to be in our backyard. It won't be in Portland, but it'll be in Seattle. Obviously, there's going to be a ton of hype in this town. We are Soccer Town, USA. So I think it's going to be unavoidable, and I'm kind of more curious if I'm going to get swept up in that. I think I'm going to try to throw myself all into the World Baseball Classic, and I'm kind of honestly, with live hockey on right now during the show, I'm already kind of hyped about the hockey.
The thing about the World Cup is, like, it's the Super Bowl for the world. Like, we talk about the Super Bowl in the NFL, but it's even bigger than that on a global stage for a lot of these countries, and that's why it's so much fun. Like, I get into that a little bit. One of my best friends, Chilean, so like when Chile was in the World Cup, like, he is insane. Like, he's waking up in the morning, like he's getting drunk the entire day, just like, singing songs the entire. So like that kind of stuff I do get into, and it's very intense soccer. Like, people make fun of soccer and the flopping and the low scoring, but when you watch these guys play on the World Cup level, man, they are so skilled. So I actually get into the World Cup. But anything other soccer, not super hyped on.
All right. Well, it's a fun year if you're into global tournaments. We got baseball, hockey, and soccer. But right now we need to do some In Case You Missed It. There we go. New guy. In case you missed it, James Harden is now on his 5th team in 6 years. He is with the Cavaliers and says that loyalty in sports is, quote, overrated, and that players should treat the NBA strictly as a business. It's pretty clear James has some serious commitment issues. Honestly, it's no wonder the guy avoids rings at all costs. Am I right? Is that... No? Oh.
I mean, he's trying. He's trying, right?
Is this him chasing a ring, or is this him?
This is him just being overpaid.
Yeah. Well, I just like the point that he fails in the playoffs. But hey, I'll take a groan. Reports say that the White Sox have installed bidets in their home clubhouse at Wright Field to help make new Japanese star Munetaka Murakami feel more at home. Honestly, with those see-through pants that Nike's making everywhere, I'm shocked that bidets weren't already mandatory, right? Yeah, okay, that one. There we go.
I like that one.
Get a new producer in here. I have to kind of check my gauges, see if these are going to work. In case you missed it, Giannis Antetokounmpo is officially out for the All-Star game with a calf strain, though he'll still be coaching the celebrity game. To fill in on the roster, the NBA has selected Browns quarterback Shedeur Sanders. Get excited. No, okay. No, it'll be De'Aaron Fox. He will replace Giannis. Shedeur Sanders will replace Cooper Flagg in the Rising Stars game. So we're excited. No, that'll be Ace Bailey. But if multi-platinum rapper Gorilla goes on the injured, goes down with an injury and can't play in the Ruffles All-Star Celebrity Game, and Joe Flacco isn't available, you know that'll be Shedeur. Is that fair? Okay. Total redemption. I had to throw the intermediate snoozer in there to get to the Ruffles Celebrity All-Star
Anything about
game.
Shedeur in an All-Star game is going to kind of get me.
Okay, perfect.
I mean, it's laughable.
Okay, wow, it's ridiculous. The Browns had 2 quarterbacks in there, and Dylan Gabriel played better than both of them during the year and didn't get an invite. Did you know what I just found out about that stupid thing? Justin Fields turned down an offer to go play in that game. Justin Fields got benched during the year and was like, yeah, no thanks. I'm going to get ready for next season where I probably won't be playing.
You know Shedeur. So this is a stat. Since 2006, 696 QBs threw over 200 passes. Shedeur Sanders' QBR of 18.9 was 692nd out of all those QBs.
He's so
Fifth
great.
worst of all time since 2006.
Are any of the 4 guys behind him or 5 guys behind him worth anything?
I can't assume.
Yeah,
I don't
no,
know.
I would assume not. In case you missed it, Jaren Jackson Jr. is out for the season. He's having a cancerous growth removed from his knee. This is just 3 games into the Jazz trading for him. Now, as someone who just had a growth removed from my own leg, I'm offended by anybody that suggests that this might be related to taking. Now, Lauri Markkanen missing the rest of the season to get calf implants, the league might want to look into that. If you're getting something put in, that's bad.
That's fine.
Something taking out, that's fine. That's fine. And finally, in case you missed it, Seahawks right tackle Abe Lucas hit his head on a traffic light during the Super Bowl parade. But don't worry, the trainers actually popped up their little blue tent right there on the bus, cleared him from the concussion protocol in record time, and he was able to get right back to the urgent work of drinking himself stupid. So do not worry about your right tackle. No. Did you see that parade? There's a lot of profanity. There's a lot of...
It was an adult-themed parade.
I tell you, the best comment, your rookie left guard, Gray Zabel, I don't know if you saw his tweet immediately after the Super Bowl, said it's a bad night to be a Busch Light. So, yeah, those guys have been having quite the week. All right, we will do some Take Your Pick at 2:30. So if you'd like to play along with us, just go to any of the fans' socials, and you can find the link to the forum to play along with us. We will be picking the last of the NBA games before the All-Star break. Very stupid things from the All-Star break, and a little bit of Olympic hockey, so that should be fun. I appreciate that. But right now, we need to get in, and there is a new name emerging in the search for the Seahawks' next offensive coordinator, and it will sound very familiar, but trust me, it's not that guy. We'll talk about that and much more in the Daily Buzz. We do it next. It's Happy Hour on 105.1 The Fan.
Here's your host, Luke Anderson.
All right, the Seahawks season just starts right up after the Super Bowl. We're only a few days away from the Underwear Olympics. I mean, I know you're enjoying the Winter Olympics, but let's be honest, that combine is an American institution. You're going to have the league years start very soon. Then you'll be re-signing free agents. Then you have the drafting, all of that. But pretty uncommon for Super Bowl teams to have to immediately replace a coordinator as well. So Clint Kubiak's departure leaves a vacancy at the offensive coordinator. Well, we've talked about this a little bit over the last couple days. There are now 4 internal candidates that are set up to interview for the position. Andrew Janocko is the quarterback's coach. He was expected to leave with Clint Kubiak, but I think if you get an opportunity to go into an OC job with a defending Super Bowl champion or go in as an offensive coordinator with the team that has a number 1 overall pick and a quarterback that's coming in and probably playing as a rookie because you don't really have anybody else on your roster, I think that that's probably worth taking the time to talk to the quarterback's coach and try to see if you can keep him in Seattle if he's your guy. They're also going to talk with Jake Peetz. Peetz is he is the passing game coordinator. He was sent 2 years with the Rams before going to the Seahawks in 2024. You're going to talk to offensive line and assistant your run game coordinator and assistant offensive line coach, Justin Otten, who has been a play caller before in this league. And the new name that popped up, no, not that Mac Brown, but Mac Brown is the tight ends coach. He's been with the Seahawks the last 2 years as well. He spent 5 years prior to that with the New York Jets. So that's the new name that popped up for the Seattle Seahawks. So keep an eye on that. It will be an interesting thing. If they can get somebody internally and keep growing the system, it could be the Seahawks way for a little while because this team sure does seem to love one another.
The Buzz.
All right, speaking of teams that are local, I think that's the only connection because I don't know if they like each other. I don't know if they love each other. I don't know if they enjoy even playing basketball, but the Blazers were pretty much losing the entire game yesterday against the Timberwolves. Oh, Anthony Edwards isn't feeling well. This is going to be tough. 41 points for Julius Randle. Take care of that. You have 25 turnovers by the Blazers, and it was really never that close. Congratulations, Portland.
The Buzz.
The good news is you get one more Blazers game before the break, and the Jazz very much looking like they do not want to win basketball games, so hopefully you can go and pick up an easy W, but we've said that a lot on this show, and it hasn't always come to fruition. So, Steven, it looks like you have a lot of confidence in the Blazers tonight.
Oh, yeah, tons of confidence. No, I don't. You never have confidence. These games right before the All-Star break, you always have the worry of, man, I got to go to Cancun, or I got a vacation in a couple days tomorrow, right after here. So these NBA games, man, I watch the NBA. I like to bet on the NBA. These games are unbettable. They're almost unwatchable sometimes because you have no idea what is going to happen.
I would 100% agree with that. Do you feel that immediately after the All-Star break is when they start to matter, or do you have to kind of ease back into it? For me, the NBA league is so small and the playoff pool is so big that it honestly doesn't really matter until you get down to that final stretch and you go, okay, here's what seeding is actually available. Yes, we can make it out of the play-in. We can get into the playoffs. But
for good teams. For good teams.
Yeah, and for the rest of the league, it's like, let's see if we can get that draft pick.
For the Blazers, I will say, every game's going to matter because they're going to want to try to get to that 7 or 8 seed. So they only have to win one game to get to the playoffs because they're going to be the worst team in the play-in field, probably out of the Western Conference, them or the Clippers. So they are actually going to – every game's kind of important to them, but we'll see. We'll see how they come out and play
At this point in the Blazers season, if you told me that they were healthy and ready to go and make a run at getting into the playoffs, so whether it's like the final stretch or it's the actual play-in, do you have any idea what a starting lineup would look for this roster if healthy? Because I have no clue. And I watch them not often, but often enough. They never have the same lineup out there. They never have everybody healthy. Even if they got to the end of the season and everybody's feeling, who do you put in there? Klingon's been better, obvious an all-star. I get that.
I actually think there's 4 concrete answers. If you're not counting Dame.
Okay.
We're
Well, yeah,
not counting him because he's out all season. We know
Yeah.
that for sure.
He said he's been going to be out all year. Yet he's doing the 3-point
Which is
contest,
kinda weird.
It's stupid, but whatever.
Yeah, but I actually think there's 4 concrete answers. Drew Holiday would start.
Okay.
Tumani Kamara would start. Denny Advia starts, and Klinga would start. So it would come down to that final spot, probably between Shaden Sharp and
Jeremy Grant.
And
Yeah.
I think Shaden Sharp would start. He would start over that.
He might shart.
He might
too.
shart,
He
too.
might shart
You
too.
never
I've
know.
not seen him in the playoffs.
The Buzz.
All right. Speaking of the NBA, Jeremy Sochan is no longer a Spur. They are moving on from him. They released him, and he is signing with the Knicks. Career average 10 points, 5.5 rebounds, but this season just 4.1 points per game and 2.6 rebounds in just 28 games. Sochan is going to be with the Knicks. 10 different teams were interested. The Spurs looking like a team that could compete for a championship this season, I would think. Wembanyama helped propel the Spurs past the Warriors. 26 points following his 40-point game where he played 26 minutes. 25 of them in the first quarter, 37 in the first half. They don't even play him 30 minutes a game on average this season.
The
The
dude
rest
is
of the
insane.
team, but the rest of the team is good. You have a good team, and it doesn't hinge on him being great every night. Which, if you can rest him up when they get into the playoffs, if they unleash him in the way that they potentially could, who knows what's going to happen?
It's almost
with
like
that.
they're a good franchise that knows what they're doing.
It
Like,
is.
It's a weird concept.
It is shocking.
You have a good coach, you have a good GM, and you're a good team.
When you have a good reputation through, like, people want to go and play there. The De'Aaron Fox thing gets me too. The Sacramento Kings looked like they were going to be one of these emerging teams. They completely fall apart. De'Aaron Fox is gone. He ends up with the Spurs. Now he's back in the All-Star game. I realize as an alternate, but still, that's a pretty nice
They
piece
stole
to
him for
just
pretty much
throw in
nothing,
there.
too.
Exactly.
And it's just like, man, I will say this. Wemby, if you ever can see him live, you never know who's going to play, especially in the NBA. But when he plays, he is something to watch because I've seen him live one time. It is out of world experience.
I went to back-to-back games where it was LeBron and Giannis showing up at Blazers game, but I've not seen Wemby in person. But is like compared to those guys, that much
it's different.
crazier. Well,
Yes.
of course it's different.
Yes,
he's
it is.
a rail.
He's him. He is different. I will say.
Yeah.
I've seen LeBron once, but the Wemby experience was so much better.
Yeah. All right. Well, I can't imagine that those are the cheapest tickets to get. But the good news is, even if you're sitting in the very back of the arena, you're that much closer to him than you are to everybody
Yeah,
else.
he's tall.
Yeah.
He reaches the 200 level by himself.
Exactly.
The Buzz.
All right. Sticking in the NBA, the Thunder are going to review Jalen Williams. Which Jalen Williams? The one that's injured. His injury after the All-Star break. So he has had a second right hamstring strain, two of those in less than 4 weeks. So they are going to shut him down, and they just said, you know what, let's just reevaluate after rest. He scored 28 points on 11 of 10 shooting before being injured against the Spurs. He's averaging 17.5 points per game. So the Oklahoma City looked like at the beginning of the season, they were going to be unstoppable. Then the Spurs figured out the formula to beat them, and then they just haven't been as good. We felt like they were going to be on pace to just go and take over the league, write them in for another championship. But right now, injuries are catching up to them, and they just have to find some continuity. SGA is already out through the All-Star break as well.
The Buzz.
This is kind of a strange one. So the Philadelphia Phillies have released Nick Castellanos. They owe him $20 million. In the farewell letter that was handwritten and pictures taken of and posted on Instagram, Castellanos thanked everybody with the organization, but referred to an incident in Miami where he was pulled from a close game against the Marlins, went back into the clubhouse, showed back up in the dugout with a beer, and then had a conversation with manager Rob Thompson, and basically told him that the way that he's running the team isn't conducive to winning. So after having a bad year, this weird incident in Miami, he's now released as everybody's getting ready for spring training. And whatever the rift is between them, I don't know if it's entirely because of showing up with a beer in the dugout, But obviously, the rift is big enough that $20 million will pay you to take off.
Was that wrong? Should he have not done that? Should he have
He
not
didn't
got
drink the beer.
There we go. I mean,
So he said he did not drink the
Symbolism.
beer. Yeah, it's 100% symbolism. But this was in June of last year, so you finish out the run that you make to try to win yourself a World Series. They have one of the highest payrolls out there, but like I said, whatever the rift is, it did not
probably
survive.
the right call if you're the Phillies. Get those kind of crazy people out of there and really go for it.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's the thing with baseball is it's full of crazy people.
Exactly.
Have you ever heard any interview with a single relief pitcher and you're like, that guy seems normal? I mean, starting pitchers are almost as crazy, and then you get these guys, with all of their different mannerisms and superstitions, and they're hopping over lines, and they have to adjust their batting gloves the exact amount of times. Baseball is full of crazy people.
The George Brett story. If you don't know, just go YouTube that one.
Okay, George Brett's story.
When he poops his pants.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did they have a bidet back then?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
Not
if
where
they
he
did.
was.
All right. With that, let's walk over to the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk, and you can tell me what we missed.
Well, Luke, if I remember correctly, you are a Seahawk fan.
That is correct. Born and raised a Seahawk fan. There's a photo that my dad went to a Seahawks game, brought everybody home in the family a shirt, and I used the close-up of everybody in my family as their identifier on my iPhone. So it goes all the way back to pre-K.
Well, first of all, I do want to say this update is brought to you by the Reynolds Defense Firm. If you've been arrested for DUI, you need a team of attorneys that you can put your trust into. Call Reynolds Defense Firm today online at reynoldsdefensefirm.com. But this just came out today. Remember the Seahawks, they just played a big game, Super Bowl. They won.
Did. I think they did, yeah. I believe they beat the Patriots in that
They
game.
did, and a big fan of the Patriots is Barstool owner Dave Portnoy.
Yeah.
Well, Dave Portnoy today came out and said, it is unfair that the Seattle Seahawks got to play the Super Bowl on the West Coast.
I 100% agree. If I can change it, I would go to a neutral site that feels more fair for both teams, somewhere in mid-America.
International?
And so they could still kick their ass. The problem was your left tackle was awful. It wasn't where the game was being played. You're telling me that Will Campbell would have stopped that pass rush if they were on the East Coast? Shut up.
Now,
Where'd they win their last Super Bowl? Oh, in the Meadowlands? Bite me.
Now I'll say this. Today is Thursday. The game was on Sunday. Dave Portnoy says he's still out of whack, quote, out of whack from being on the West Coast, and he imagines that the Patriots are still out of whack
Was that his first trip going to the West Coast?
I guess.
He's like, oh my God, it's crazy out here. Look, the sun sets over the ocean. What is happening?
It's almost like he didn't watch the game and saw that the Patriots suck compared to the Seahawks. The Seahawks roster is just so much better.
Did you hear any of the Patriots commentary from like local New England personalities? There was one guy, I can't remember what his name was, but I was listening to him, and he's having a conversation with the guys from Seattle, and they go, all right, well, what do you think of the Seahawks? Well, I don't like their uniforms. Yeah, but what about them as a football team? I haven't watched them play.
Doesn't matter.
I haven't watched them play. We're gonna beat them.
I haven't watched since Brady.
Yeah, give me
I haven't watched since 20.
Oh, ridiculous.
All right, well, then for more sports scores and stories in 30 minutes, I'm Stephen Vaughn from the George McCoy Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt messy work. Insurance comes act like yours. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Recruiting with Andrew Nemec, Thursday evenings at 7. Ferguson.
All right, with me on the happy hour for the first time is Stephen Vaughn. Stephen, were you able to track down the Take Your Pick link on the fan social pages?
Let me try right now.
Okay, go ahead and give it a try. I think X or Twitter or whatever it is called is the easiest way to
What do you
find
like to
it
call
if
it?
you're playing. Honestly, I don't understand social media, and it frightens me, so I don't like to call it anything, but it does seem to be the most efficient way to get things out. We made it through the NFL season with the Take Your Pick. We were able to get standings up and do that. We had a handful, a couple dozen people that played every single week, so we did pretty well with it. I'm working with Dusty. We're going to try to figure out a way to make it even better for next year. It's the off season right now, so we're putting together some kind of weird Take Your Pick things. But maybe what I'll do is put a free form where people can tell me if they have any ideas how to do it. But I want to get something cool for March Madness.
Mm-hmm.
You always get the bracket challenge, right? But if we're going to do this every week, have it reset, right? We can do something like that.
My
So if
favorite time of year. I would love it.
There you go. All right. So what I did was I put the final 3 games before the All-Star break on there. You've already said that those are unbettable games in the
Unbettable.
NBA. What is it, Mr. Vaughn? Because you are a degenerate's not the right word. I believe you've been called that by our friends at Primetime. What would you consider yourself when it comes to sports gambling?
I mean, degenerate kind of does work. I'll admit
All right.
it. You know,
All right.
I like to bet on sports. That's just, it's a hobby.
Okay, there you go.
hobby.
I mean, you show up with shoes on most of the time. You're here on time. You don't look disheveled. So degenerate.
I don't have hair. If I had hair, maybe the hair would be disheveled. But,
Yeah, but you don't come in with a 5 o'clock
Okay.
shadow or big bags under your eyes. I haven't seen you in any sort of body cast or arm, leg,
Baco
other.
has not come after me.
Yeah,
yet,
so you're doing okay. So what is it in an NBA that triggers a must bet situation for you?
Just a lot of injury stuff. Like whenever the Blazers are playing, if Denny Advia's not playing and they
fair.
are hurt, it's very hard to bet on the Trailblazers
That's
because he
fair.
does so much. So it's all about injury stuff. And today especially is very hard because it is the final day before All-Star weekend. So a lot
It
of
is.
guys are already tuned out. We already have teams, as you said, the Jazz not trying to win. So
Yeah, your 3 games tonight are Bucks at Thunder, Blazers at Jazz, and Mavericks at Lakers.
Right. And so there's already a lot of guys that are like, look, I didn't make the All-Star game. I'm going to go take a vacation. Like, they're not going to play for a week plus. So they're already, just like, if you ever take a vacation at work, the last couple of days you work, you're not working hard. You're focused on your vacation. You're thinking about, same in the NBA, only they're probably going to tropical places that are really expensive. So,
Well, that's what I do on my vacation, so that checks out.
because we make tons of money here, right?
That's right. We're loaded. Have you looked through the NBA All-Star lineup thoroughly? Are you familiar with all of the things that happen this weekend? Because I threw them all on this sheet. Mookie Betts is somehow coaching with all 3 Antetokounmpo brothers against Anthony Anderson, who is coaching the other team, with a guy named, have you ever heard of a guy named Lethal Shooter?
Maybe. I feel like my son has maybe showed me a YouTube video of him, but I might be wrong.
He is listed as an NBA shooting coach and is named Lethal Shooter, and then some development training guy named Chris Brickley. So on one side, you've got 3 NBA players, one of which actually plays in the NBA, 2 guys that are on a roster, and then a Major League Baseball All-Star and World Series winner. On the other side, you have a comedian and 2 developmental coaches.
You also have one named Shooter and one named Brickley.
Yes,
So
yes.
that is a little opposite ends of the spectrum there.
It is, yes. I do not understand what is happening there. You also have, this one I appreciate. I have no idea if anybody is planning to bet on this or pick this at all, but the 5th annual NBA HBCU Classic will be part of All-Star Weekend, so you'll have a matchup between North Carolina A&T, which I believe is a school that J.R. Smith went to play golf. Is that right?
I believe you are right on that.
And then the Aggies of North Carolina A&T will take on the Hampton Pirates. So a good way to showcase the historically black colleges and universities. So I'll tell you right now, I'm taking the Pirates. I mean, Pirates over Aggies, that's an easy pick.
100%. Yeah.
Oh, okay, obviously.
Yeah.
Now, the 3-point contest, I think you and I both alluded to the same thing earlier. is it just really, really dumb for a guy that is in the process, of coming back from an Achilles injury to roll out, 8-10 months before he's actually going to play any basketball games to go and shoot off of a rack?
I mean, it's not going to hurt. Here's the thing. It's not going to hurt him.
It better not hurt him.
But at the same time,
Portland will lose their mind. There will be riots in the street.
Well,
no one will show up to Moda Center for the next game. It'll just be empty, which I think is the right response. If he goes out there and has a minor or greater setback because of that, and you see him limping or whatever it is, you boycott the Blazers.
Just two things. One, it's taken away from someone that played this year and has had a good season that probably belongs in a three-point contest, and maybe it's his only time he'll ever get it. So that I don't like. Also, two, I'm not the biggest of Dame fan. Like, I would be more of a Dame hater than more people would say.
Interesting. And you're a lifelong Blazers fan.
I grew up in Portland.
Okay.
I worked for the Blazers, so I am a little skewed by them when they let go of me. But
Fair.
This seems like an attention move by Dame. Like, hey, I haven't been in the limelight because I've been hurt.
Yeah.
I want to get back out there and get in front of everyone's face.
Can he just do the national anthem as Dame Dollar or something?
Right? Can he just sit on the sideline and throw up a 10 on a dunk contest? He has to compete in this competition. I get it. It's gonna get eyeballs on. City of Portland's gonna watch, but I don't know. I don't really like this decision.
Yeah, well, and how many of these guys are actual all-stars? I mean, that's the other thing to me, because you said, it's somebody that would not have a spot otherwise, but it's Damian Lillard, Devin Booker, all-star, Con Knuppel, Tyrese Maxey, Donovan Mitchell, Jamal Murray, who's for the first time is an all-star, but is Bobby Portis Jr. an all-star?
He is not, but Norman Powell is.
Norman Powell is an all-star. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Well, there's
a couple that are not. Knuppel and Portis are not.
Okay, so just two. I didn't realize Norman Powell had made the team, so good for him. Now, if we go to the dunk contest, none of these guys are all-stars, are they? Carter Bryant, Jackson Hayes, Kashad Johnson, and Jace Richardson.
They are not even rising stars, all-stars.
Boy. From the time we were kids, man, the dunk contest has maybe taken the biggest fall, even more so than the Pro Bowl. They switched to flag football, and this is more embarrassing.
The Cedric Ceballos blindfold dunk was like my first, my first memory of a slam dunk contest.
Okay.
And that's great. I love that. Vince Carter made it great.
The Spud Webb moment was one that I always remember, and just thinking back to it, just being like, man, a guy that short getting up there and doing that, but he was going against greats. I mean, it was always a ton
Larry
of fun.
Nance out there.
Yeah. All I can do is just look at it, and this is how I've evaluated it, just for everybody. Jackson Hayes, 7 feet tall. Carter Bryant, 6'6". Kashad Johnson, 6'6". I'll take Jace Richardson. He is 6'1". Let's go. That's all you got to do.
Jackson Hayes did have a between the legs dunk in a game just like a week ago.
Cool. So if he goes up there at 7 feet and does an in between the dunk, and his foot is like 4 inches off the ground while he completes a dunk, come on.
I'll take Carter Bryant. Jace Richardson, related. I believe he's Jason Richardson's son.
Sounds right to me.
And Jason Richardson, former slam dunk contest winner.
Yeah. And what the hell is the Kia Shooting Stars contest?
The Shooting Stars contest, that is like they group people together and they do little, dribbling skills, and
it's not the skills competition anymore. I don't know. I don't know if it is.
But I think you just shoot jump shots. Maybe I really don't know.
This is how dumb it is.
I'm not locked in.
So they have Team All Star, which is Scotty Barnes, Chet Holmgren, and Rip Hamilton. For some reason, they have Team Knicks, which is Jalen Brunson, Karl Anthony Towns, and Allen Houston. You have Team Cameron, which I don't know how this is set up, but it's Jalen Johnson, Con Knuppel,
well, it's Duke,
and I guess there you go.
Duke guys.
And then what would I just call it? Team Cameron. I guess it is
Cameron, North Carolina.
Yeah, I get it. And Corey Maggette, and then you have Team Harper, Dylan Harper, Ron Harper Jr., and Ron Harper Sr. Oh my goodness, But you have one that are like, these guys are all-stars.
Where's Team The Fan?
Yeah. Who would be on Team The Fan if we had some sort of skills competition?
I don't know. I don't know everyone enough yet to really judge. I know I'd be there.
Obviously
I'd be there.
Obviously, you would be there. We did a combine years and years ago. When I first started, right after the Hunt for the Host, we had just started doing our show on Saturdays, and we did a combine, and I was like, Can't we just shoot some free throws or
Yeah.
3-pointers or like can we get out the radar gun and see how fast everybody's throwing a baseball? I don't want to I don't need to do a shuttle run. I'll do a 40. I don't want to bench press and do all that. But having a skills competition to me would be entertaining.
Well,
if you had to throw footballs through a tire, I think I can do pretty good with that.
I'll take you on my team.
Yeah, okay, all right. Well, let's set it up. So you and me will take any challengers. How about that?
Sue's like a real athlete, so
well, in the combine,
Right.
he kicked everybody's ass except for one kid who was 22, was part of the Comcast team, and he was just a natural athlete. I think
Yeah.
he ended up winning the overall thing. But there still some controversy about the bench press and whether or not Suk extended his arms enough. But dude, he took it very seriously. He had been prepared for those events when
Right.
he actually did the combine, so he knew how to prepare for that. And man, I felt like I just rolled off the couch, and I'm like, I'm gonna tear something. I was wearing my signature yellow Chucks, I think, when we were running it. Like the whole thing was very, very stupid.
I played basketball the first time on Sunday, and like I don't know, in 4 or 5 months, my
Yeah.
ankle still hurts. From
Yeah,
that.
I was
And I didn't
sweating.
even roll it.
So the new team that I'm coaching. So last season, in the fall season, my twin daughters have a basketball team. They were the Aggressive Orange Otters. They have now dubbed themselves the Black Gummy Bears for the new season, since they have black jerseys. But I was sweating way more than I wanted to at practice last night. But I'll tell you, with that 27.5-inch ball, dude, I was lighting those kids up.
Much easier.
Oh yeah. Well, actually, no, it actually takes some
it
adjustment.
does. Once you get used to it, though.
This is the third practice. We've played one game, but the first time I shot one of those, I literally missed like 4.5 feet deep. I was like, oh, got to take a little bit off of it. But yeah, I'm getting it. I'm way better than the 8 and 9-year-olds that I'm coaching. I will tell you that. So I don't know if I'll beat everybody on the fan, but if you want to compete against me head-to-head, you can do it. Just go on, find the Take Your Pick form. Go on to any of the fan socials, and you can find the link. We're trying to get to 1 million people to participate in this contest. I believe right now we are at 7. So just a few more to go. It will have tonight's NBA's game. It will have the All-Star weekend, and it will have some Olympic hockey. So get down there and pick. If you want to, just send us a note. Tell us what you think we should do to make it more fun for the off season. Once we get into baseball season, I think it'll be a lot easier. And then what we really want to do is get it geared up for next football season. We want to make it awesome. So this is something that is a ton of fun, and the more listeners we have participate, the better. But right now, we need to talk about the IOC being real dumb. And we will do that as we do one more for the road. You're listening to Happy Hour on 105.1 and the Fan Sports Network. All right, kiddos, if you missed anything from the program, you can go back and listen to the podcast. It will be available on 1051thefan.com, Odyssey.com, the Odyssey app, or if you write a hand-addressed pre-stamped envelope and send it to Stephen Vaughn, he will send you a personal copy of the podcast on floppy disk, so make sure you get those in. Mr. Vaughn, what are the people saying on the YouTube chats and the text toy that we need to address?
Yeah, over at here at YouTube here at Joel's, we talked about Dave Portnoy and his excuse making.
Yeah.
And one of my biggest pet peeves in the sports take business is excuses are just not standing on what you believe in. Look, if you believe that you're gonna, the Patriots are getting ripped off and it's a conspiracy that they're playing on the West Coast, and that's why they lost, just own it. Don't make excuses. But Joel's pointed out perfectly. He said right before Dave Portnoy said it, his first said, "I don't want to make excuses," and then made a bunch of excuses. It's like, you know what? If you're gonna, don't make excuses. Just say, look, this is what I believe in, and I like that comment there.
Well, yeah, I mean, I would agree with that. The other thing too is looking at the Super Bowl and realizing that, they decided to put it in Santa Clara after Seattle qualified for it does seem unfair. But that didn't happen. We know where the next 12 Super Bowls are going to be, you idiot. Oh, you know what the Patriots should have done is they should have lost that game so that Denver could have played it because they're a lot closer to Santa Clara. Shut up. They rotated in the fairest manner that they possibly can. It's one of the things running into the Seahawks' first Super Bowl. There was all this hubbub about playing in the Meadowlands. Not first Super Bowl, sorry, second Super Bowl. They were going to play in the Meadowlands, and everybody was worried that it was going to be outside and the weather was going to be terrible. Ended up being a perfectly lovely day. They played Denver, so they both traveled east, whatever. The first Super Bowl that they played in, I don't know if you know this, Mr. Vaughn, Jerome Bettis is from Detroit. Did you know that?
You know what? I have never heard that, actually.
Yeah, it was the only story. You had the Super Bowl in, what was it, in Miami, where it was the Colts and the Bears. And, hey, Miami, it never rains there. Oh, except for when it absolutely pours and you're playing in a deluge and somebody has to win those games. So just shut up.
Just because I say no offense doesn't mean I can say anything after that.
Well, yeah, but no, I mean, I don't want to make excuses, but.
Yeah, no offense, but.
Yeah. Well, the offense thing, I can go a different way, but the FCC regulates this. You're right. You're right in theory, but you're opening up another can of worms. Anything else we need to get to?
That was the best one.
That's the best one. That works for me. Let's do one more. So I am just trying to figure out what the goal of the IOC is. The International Olympic Committee decided that they needed to win a fight. And they put all their effort into it, and they won. Congratulations. You took a guy out of the skeleton competition. So there is an athlete from the Ukraine. His name is Vladislav and he was a medal contender in the skeleton, which is the one where you jump on a sled and launch yourself headfirst down a tube of ice, 75 miles an hour. That is a pretty brave thing to do. The other thing that he did that was brave was he made a helmet that was dedicated to more than 20 athletes and coaches from the Ukraine that had passed away in the Russia-Ukraine war. Now, Russia is not in these games. The Ukraine is. So he makes this memorial on his helmet that I'm guessing most people that are watching the Olympics probably wouldn't have even noticed or known was there. Except the IOC decided that he could not wear that because you're not allowed to make political statements as part of the competition. So they fought, and 45 minutes before he goes out on his run, they went up there and they said they could not find common ground. So now they have removed him from the competition. Will he win a medal? No. Will he get more attention for his cause because of it? Absolutely he will. Will the Olympic Committee look terrible? I think it's pretty safe to say that they absolutely do. So I don't know what they're trying to do. I mean, I'm looking at the helmet right now. There's a picture up on the screen. It's a gray helmet, and it has pictures of the people that have perished. Regardless of how they passed away, if it was in a bus crash and somebody went to do that, that wouldn't be a political statement, and you could do that. People have honored people that they've lost in their lives in sporting events across Olympic Games, and they've never had a problem with it. These people aren't coming back, whether it's war or something else that caused it. So for me, you'll never be able to explain it to me. The Olympic Committee constantly makes terrible decisions, and this is one of them. I would like to give a big thanks to anybody that is playing in the Take Your Pick game. If you're just joining the show and you want to go on there, just go to any of the fans' socials, fill out the form, get it done before 4:30 when the first NBA game tonight tips off. Big thank you to Stephen Vaughn jumping in at the very last minute. Appreciate you joining me for the first time that you and I have partnered together. It was a fun show, man, so thank you for being here. And, of course, we cannot finish one of these shows without properly thanking Isaac Robb. Everybody have a wonderful day. We're done for now. Bye-bye.